I'm Zoe Wischinsky, and like you, I'm wild about Washington. The staff at the Cowlitz Salmon hatchery not only raise fish, but also provide us with an educational tool that finds its way into many Washington classrooms. There, it helps to educate the next generation about our natural resources.
For us here at the salmon hatchery, besides raising a good quality product that gets released and meeting all our needs as an agency, the educational aspect we look at as a big thing. We get lots of visitors every year, school groups, we deal with lots of co-ops, and we feel by helping educate the kids as well as adults, parents, and other groups that I believe the agency and the fisheries program can benefit by having this education. One way we're doing that is through these egg displays, and what we hope to achieve here, we've been working with Bonnie Long with the public outreach, is by being able to give these to school groups, co-ops, and other groups that are interested in these displays that will teach kids, adults, about the development of, and for this example is the coho salmon at different stages. Here I have day 1, 30, 45, 60, 90, and 110. By giving them a visual aid rather than just what it says in the book or the text, we feel that it gives a little more of an attachment to the Fish and Wildlife Agency and the program. And by having that, you know, down the road, fish and wildlife issues come up, the public in general become a little more educated on what we're doing here at the salmon hatchery and what the agency is trying to accomplish as well. We get such positive feedback. We have one instructor come in and they get their egg display and all the kids like it. We'll get those kids come to our hatchery and they tell us about the egg displays that they have in their classroom, and they kind of tell us, hey, yeah, I know what the eggs do, and it's kind of rewarding because these kids come up and they know about our program, so they're real interested in the other stages as, you know, the fish are coming in as well. Also, the kids tell their parents, and they may be ahead of a Boy Scout group or some other YMCA organization, and everybody wants the, you know, they all want to have them, and they love them. Washington's a state where individuals come from all over the country, and one thing they think about is the nature, the fish and wildlife resource in general. And when we get visitors from all over the country, or even all over the world even, they know a little bit about the salmon, and they love coming here and being able to see the visuals. And that's great. That's great for not just the state in general and our image and who we are, but it's also good for the economy, and it's also a sense of rewarding where you look and say, wow, I live in a great place. And that starts here with our fish and wildlife resource and how important it is.
It may be winter, but Washington doesn't lack in good fishing opportunities. Here's just a few. The Department of Fish and Wildlife attends outdoor sports fairs all over the state. Recently, we were part of a show that featured a gift to keep families safe.
Hi, I'm Terry Rudnick, and I'm here at the Puyallup Fairgrounds at the Washington Sportsmen Show, where we're having a lot of fun. We're putting life jackets on about 1,000 kids a day, Kids 12 and under who come to the show with a parent or guardian sit through a short educational seminar on how life jackets work, why they should be wearing life jackets. Then they come out here and we fit them for the right life jacket for them. We don't just give them a life jacket that they can just kind of put on and wear out here and hope it's the right size. We actually individually fit each life jacket on each child so that when they go out of here, they're going to go away with a Coast Guard approved Type 3 Mustang life jacket that's just exactly the one that they need to be wearing this spring and summer when they're out on the water. It's a state and federal law for all kids 12 and under on any boat shorter than 19 feet to wear a life jacket whenever that boat is underway. The law is very clear on that. If they're 12 and under and that boat is shorter than 19 feet, the kids will be wearing the life jacket anytime the boat's on the water. Of course, we recommend, along with state parks and the folks here at the O'Loughlin trade shows, that all kids on all boats at all times wear a life jacket. And as far as we're concerned, that rule goes for parents as well. If parents aren't out there setting the example, telling the kids that they need to wear a life jacket just like mom and dad are, the kids are less likely to wear them. So part of what we're doing here is not only give them a great Coast Guard approved life jacket, but we ask the parents to fit the life jacket on their child so the parents know the rules about how they're supposed to work and what life jacket is best for each of their kids. Unfortunately, a lot of people think they're invincible when they get out on the water, and they take a lot of things for granted. You hear things like, well, I'm a good, strong swimmer, I don't need to wear a life jacket. There's something in boating called the 50-50-50 rule that I think all parents should remember. It applies to them as well as their kids. The 50-50-50 rule says that you have a 50% chance of making it 50 yards in 50-degree water. So even though you're a strong swimmer, the odds say if you're out there for more than a few minutes in cold water, you're in jeopardy. There's a good chance you're going to drown. The other misperception in boating is that if I think I'm going to need a life jacket, I'll put it on. If I see a problem coming, I'll put it on. Boating accidents don't usually have a warning. Somebody takes a wake over the side, someone slips while they're bending over the side to unhook a fish, they're in the water without any chance to prepare. If they're not wearing a life jacket, there is no time to put it on. So we want people to wear them at all times, be safe 100% of the time out there, and live to enjoy their next fishing or boating trip. Well, it's wonderful to have an opportunity to give away life jackets to kids who are going to need them. It's even better when you're giving away life jackets to kids and somebody else paid for the life jackets. In this case, the O'Loughlin Trade Show folks went to Mustang and bought these Type 3 Coast Guard approved life jackets for the kids, and we're giving a life jacket to each kid. This is about a $50 jacket. We get to put them on the kids and send them out of here happy, and in this case, it's not costing the department much of anything except our time. And it's time very well spent.
Winter can be a great time to observe Washington's wildlife. For many in the northeastern part of the state, wildlife viewing is often an excuse for a day of cross-country skiing.
We're out on the Kettle River today looking for animal tracks. Just because it's not sunny and warm, we can still come out and enjoy the winter and look for animals. Wildlife are very elusive creatures, and they're often hard to spot, but if you go out in a nice snowy day, you can see where they've been and what they've been doing. Coyotes are pretty common, especially up in the higher country and lower. Down here along the river would be a great place to see coyotes, deer tracks, moose, bobcat, ermine, which are weasels in their winter white coat, snowshoe hares, turkeys. A lot of times when you're skiing, you can find a trail of an animal and you can tell whether it was going fast or slow or stopped quickly and turned around or went to seek shelter under a tree. Rabbits do that a lot. You can see their marks. They'll be close together when they're going slow, and then when they speed up, they get further apart. Same with the little ermine tracks. They'll pounce, and you can see the drag marks in between their pounces where they've jumped, kind of leaping, and you can tell how fast they've been going. Sometimes grouse will seek shelter in the snow. They'll actually dive into the snow and make a little snow cave, and you can sometimes see their wing flap marks when they take off. Well, it's a good idea when you're doing winter tracking to bring along a couple books that show you the tracks and talk about the different signs. Here's a nice book. This is just a nice little book, Tracks of the Pacific Northwest. The tracks are nice and big and easy to find in this book. Here's a mule deer. Here's a track of a bobcat. We didn't see any of these today, but these can be frequently seen up in the higher elevations as well as the lower elevations in northeast Washington. A lot of times you'll see just domestic dog tracks when you're out tracking, and a good way to tell if you're looking at a coyote or a dog track. They look very similar, but coyotes, they usually travel in a very straight line, whereas a domestic dog, they're kind of lollygagging back and forth. That's not a good word to use, is it? Snowshoe hares are pretty common to see when you're skiing up at higher elevations. Their back feet are specialized like snowshoe. They're very large and cover a large surface area so they can stay up high on the snow and don't sink in. You can also look for other signs, not just the tracks, but you can find places where deer and rabbits and moose have nibbled on willow branches, and places where deer have rubbed their antlers on trees. I like skiing because it's something that I can do by myself if I want to, and it's very quiet and peaceful and great exercise. Or you can go in a big old group and you can still have just as much chance of seeing an animal track by yourself or with a bunch of people.
Here are other wildlife viewing opportunities in the coming weeks. This has been Wild About Washington, brought to you by the employees of the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. Working together, we can keep Washington's outdoor heritage for future generations. Thank you for watching.